Hi everyone and happy Monday. Now we have jellyfish to colour today. This is from Lost Ocean. This picture, by the way, is from Johanna Basford's Weekly Planner, and it is part of I think it's a double page from Lost Ocean, and I have actually coloured the double page already. To be honest, I wasn't 100% happy with it. There is a video though, but I'm quite pleased to have the opportunity to have another go. The only thing is that I'm sort of in the mood for autumn/Halloween pictures, and this picture doesn't really fulfill either of those categories. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We can have a go. I'm going to use my Castle Arts gold pencils, and I've decided to do two quite different colour jellyfish. I'm going to start with this one. We may just do one video, might do two. It depends how long it takes. So as I say, Castle Arts gold. Oh, before I do that, I'm just going to show you, I've been thinking about background ideas, and I show you I've got some stencils. This one's like rain. I don't think it's quite the right one. We have bubbles, which is quite nice for underwater. I'm trying to, out there. That's better, isn't it? Or this, which is quite nice. I like this one, and it looks like waves. I think you could do it as grass, but if you do it this way, it looks like waves. So I've been thinking about what to do with those as well. But at the moment, I'm just going to concentrate on our little jellyfish. Oh, we've got a long tentacle here. Now, this one I think I'm going to do in sort of pinky purple colours. And I want it to look a bit glowy. They do often glow. And to achieve that is tricky, but we can have a go, see if it works. I find the best way with the glow is to make it bright in the centre and then a bit dark on the edge, and it looks like it's... So we're going to do that. I'm going to start with the French rose, just trying to find it. If you don't have your Castle Arts gold, I have some comparison charts, and you can use those, or you can just use a equivalent colour. Now, the centre here, sort of here, glow. Now we've got all these details drawn on here, and I'm thinking I'm going to ignore those at the moment and just put in my glowy bit. So let's just sort of do an area of bright pink. Now I'm not pressing massively hard. I'm hoping I can layer something else on top in a minute. So we've got a bit there, and I'm just going to fade it on the edges. So I want a lighter layer around the edge. So it's a sort of circular area in the centre of our jellyfish like that. Okay, and I'm going to put oh, we haven't really got very much, nothing yet. We'll do our darker areas and then we'll work through and think about what we're doing. So what colour was that? French rose. And purple like... I'm going to grab the mulberry. I'm going to go really dark because I want a contrast between the light and the dark areas, and then it will look more glowy. So this is the mulberry. I think I am going to come in closer for you. We'll do the tentacles a bit later, and I'll just have to hope that I remember to zoom back out. Let's hope. There we go. So here is our darkest colour, the mulberry, and I'm going to do this sort of around the edge. Again, I'm just ignoring Johanna's detailing, and actually this is quite dark, so it might cover up quite a bit of it. We can worry a bit more about this down here, but I'm just worrying, not worrying, it's the wrong word. I'm just concentrating on this main sort of area at the moment, not worrying, not at all. So yeah, I've got one child home today. He was quite cross, not really cross, but he his class, he had an early morning Tuesday class, but his afternoon class was cancelled. I think I'm right. No, his early morning Tuesday class was cancelled, that's right, and it was moved to Wednesday morning. So he didn't have to get up on Tuesday, but he still had to go into uni because he had an afternoon class. So it's like, I've got to go in an extra day this week, I've got to go in on Wednesday. And then, so got up early this morning. I mean, I had to get my other boy, had an early anyway. Made them both pack lunch and all that sort of thing. So we're sort of scumbling around here, just fading our purple, and the idea is to sort of try and mix these two colours in a minute. But what I'm going to do first is go much darker on my edge. As I say, I want a really big contrast, so this needs to be more intense between the two colours. So yes, we got up early, came down for breakfast, checked his messages on his phone, and his tutor messaged to say, oh, timetabling didn't get back to me in time, so I didn't realise the lesson had been changed, so I can't make it, so it's cancelled. I got up early, and I haven't got a class. Oh dear. But it was nice because his brother went off to uni, and he came with me to the supermarket shopping. This is cobalt purple because he was going to do his work, but this computer system, we're just doing it along the edge of this dark purple. It's just a sort of transition colour between the dark purple and the light pink. The system he was using to do his work had goes down on a Wednesday morning for maintenance, and so he couldn't do his work. So he said, yeah, I'll come with you shopping. I think he regretted it because I saw someone I knew and was yakking in the supermarket. This is French Rose. She used to live next door and has moved out, but I follow her on Facebook, so I still know a little bit about what's going on with her. She's got a little boy now, so we have a little natter, and poor Toby, poor son. And then right, we've got a bit of, you know, paper showing through around the edge. I want that edge even darker. The purple lake deep is a bit darker, but I'm actually going to go for a bit of black. Ooh, just trying to find it. So yes, and then I went into the tile shop to talk to them about my shower. I haven't updated you with my exciting shower stories lately. I'm just going to put a bit right on the edge and then just scumble it in slightly. So the shower frame, door frame, isn't sealed on the outside and the water's getting underneath, and so I wanted to seal it, but I spoke to the man in the shop. We've got a Tops tiles just up the road from us, so I popped in there and spoke to the man and said, you know, can I get sealant and just do it? And he was like, you can, but you really should get back to your fitters, they should do it, and there might be a reason why they didn't, so you ought to ask them first. Okay. So we were chatting for a while, but he was very helpful, so I've gone back to the company and messaged them and said, you know, I was going to do it, but the man in the shop said blah, you know, put the blame on somebody else. It's not me that's hassling you, it's this man. He told me to. Now, I am going to now grab that purple lake deep that I spoke of, if I can find it, here it is, and go along the black into the purple. So just scumbling along the edge. And it's worth taking a little bit of time to get that blend and contrast and things. And now I'm just going to grab the mulberry again and just do a little more, and then we'll be done with our purples on the main body part of our... Now it doesn't look really glowy to me, it just looks like we've got a trick. I'm going to try a trick, I don't know if it works, but apparently if you put a bit of yellow it helps, but it's going to make it go orange, so I'm just going to put a bit right in the middle like that. You don't have to do this if you think it looks a bit naff. I'm not really sure that that has achieved anything. I'm going to try and erase that off, but yeah, it's come off, look at that. It's just sitting on top of the pink, but I'm thinking that maybe white might have been a better idea. I don't know if the white works on this set. Ooh. I'll I'm almost through it on the floor. It's really lucky that between my desk and the wall, I've got a bit of tape. That's better. It does work. I've got a bit of tape, and it's very thick. There, I think that's better. Got a bit of the yellow showing through, a bit of the white. We'll see. And then I'm just going to go over it again with our pink French rose. Yeah, I've got a bit of masking tape between the desk and the wall, in a sort of L shape, so that when I drop my pencils, they don't fall on the floor. You notice I say when, not if. Now I think that yellowy white bit works. Now I think it's working. Now let's come out a tad and do our tentacles. Out we come. There we go. Now, what I think I'm going to do is use a mix of the colours that we've used already. Probably not the black, but oh, sorry, wipe my nose. I'm just going to brush off my paper. I've got a smudgy bit. The problem with the gold is they smudge a bit. I'm just going to erase it actually, where it's smudged. There we go. Use these good erasers. Right, now we've got these little loopy bits. Now I think that that is a solid bit, not just a, oh, I've got a smudge there as well, not just not just a loop. I want to colour that bit in there as well. I'm going to use the cobalt purple for that, and just do the whole thing, I think. See, anyway, my poor son, but he came out for a walk. It's lovely to have some company and chat to him. My other boy wouldn't do that. He would refuse. But it was rather nice. So they were, oh my goodness, last night. One of them had done some the one that's doing accounting, he'd done some programming in class, and the other one is studying computer science. I'm going to use the mulberry to go over the little loops. I feel like I need to be a bit closer still, maybe until we do those ones. I'm going to put a bit of mulberry over here just to darken them a tad. Yes, so the one doing accounting was using Python programming to deal with large data sets, and so they started nattering about programming. It's lovely to hear them chattering and finding something in common to talk about, and then they started talking about their game and programming in the game they like to play, things like that. It was really nice, but my goodness, I was trying to go to bed and I natter, and I said ugh, and then my husband comes upstairs to bed and they're still nattering in the bathroom and in the bedroom. They're sort of getting ready for bed, brushing teeth and blah, and but not because they're nattering. So I'm going to use the mulberry for these long tendrils here. And they start to tell him about it. And my husband's IT consultant, I guess. That's his job, I don't really know what he calls himself anymore. And so they all started nattering about it. Oh, I mean, I guess if you want to go off to sleep and it's something that bores you, maybe it was good, but really. I was trying to do my meditation and I was like, oh, but still. Anyways, it's nice to hear them enthused and chatting, of course it is. But I just wish they'd do it like at tea time or, you know. But no, don't talk so much then. I think they are usually on their phone and stuff then. Well, my one boy gets his phone out at meal times. It makes me a little bit cross. But the other one doesn't usually, unless we're doing the crossword and looking something up. That doesn't count. It's because we're all doing it together. It's a little bit different, isn't it? I think. But no. I try to not have phones at meal times too much. I certainly don't have mine. I take it with me if one of my boys is at uni in case they contact me, but otherwise no. Now I'm thinking these long ones that look like leaves, I thought we could do these with a little bit of a glow as well. So I'm going to start with the French rose, the pink colour, and put that down the middle. I'm going to start right at the top actually and just put a stripe sort of down there. We'll do that on each of them. I don't know why I went right to the bottom. I had thought that I probably wouldn't, but I've done it now, so yeah. There we go, done. And then we'll go to our darker colours. I probably won't go quite as dark as I did on the body. I might use the Purple Lake Deep on the outside, and it needs a sharpen. I notice I've got my wrist warmers on today. My hands were suffering a bit yesterday because I think they were cold. My mum was saying, my dad was saying to her that she's feeling the cold extra this year, but I think it's just because it suddenly got cold, you know, it's suddenly a lot colder and it takes a bit of getting used to. But because she's already wearing a winter coat when she's out and about, as I'm not. I'm wearing a jacket. I was got really hot when I was out. But the one shop we went in was boiling, and my son was like, "It's because it's so hot in here." And all the staff were in short sleeves. You know, it's so hot. And I said, actually, I was getting warm before we came in here. But anyway, I'm not finding my HRT is making any difference yet, but it's early days. We'll keep trying and see. And I've just got to decide whether the I think it's worth persevering or not once I've taken my sort of initial dose. Really, I'm going to put a little bit there because that bit's partially hidden. I'm trying to work out what that is. Is that part of that? I think it is. So we'll see. You know, it might work, it might not. No, I thought it might help my mood, but I had a really down day on Sunday, maybe Monday. I can't remember. I think it was Monday. I wasn't down. I was cross. I was just like everything. No, Tuesday. That's right. Everyone was getting on my wick. It wasn't Tuesday. Oh, I don't know. When it was, it doesn't matter. Everything and everyone was annoying me. So this is our cobalt purple, and I'm going to sort of try and sort of merge the colours together a little bit. And what I'm going to do is, I know we've still got like a line, we'll put the bit of the mulberry on in a minute as well to sort of finish it off, but I'm just filling in the space with this one at the minute. Yeah, I was in one of those. Oh, grr. No patience. Like someone moaning. I'm like, well, flipping, just go and do something about it then. Oh dear. But anyway, I decided to just not talk to people. That was probably a better thing. I said to my son this morning, I get cross when I'm tired, and he went. I said, no, not that cross. He went. I said, yeah, that's better. Oh dear. Funny. Anyway, here's the mulberry. What I'm going to try and do is just make a slightly nicer transition between our purples and pinks by just scumbling along the edge here. But actually the day I I was in cross. My husband apologised to me for being moody, so maybe he was too, or maybe, I don't know. Anyway, maybe he thought he made me cross. I don't know. Yeah, last night he brought me home some flowers. It was funny. I said, "Can you pop into the supermarket on your way home because I haven't had time to shop. I needed something for today." Can't remember what it was for the life of me. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And I hadn't been able to go out because I was waiting in for a parcel, and then by the time it came, it was late, and I had to get on with making the tea and things like that. Right, I am going to run my yellow down the middle of each one, but really lightly this time. I think I just put it down too hard on there. And then the white a little bit. This white works. It's quite amazing. I've got a lot of castle whites that aren't quite so good. The soft touch ones. And now I'm going to put another layer of the pink, the French rose, sorry. And then we'll be done with those. Now I've got to decide what colour to do the other tentacles. I'm just basically trying to fill in the gaps now, so we've got not so much white paper showing through, just a bit more vibrant. Now, jellyfish are sort of see-through, so you might not want to see all these lines. You might want to put white pen over them or something. I'm not going to do that. Can we see all the tentacles? Not quite. That's quite happy. Now I'm thinking I might do these in the mulberry. Did I use the mulberry for that? Can't even remember. No. I'm going to use the French rose, the pink. Let's use the pink for these. Now they're quite small, so I'm going to have to sharpen up a bit. But I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to fill it in like I did with those. Just work my way down. Yeah, I also, as I say, I saw someone I knew in the supermarket, then went in the tile shop. My son was like thinking, I think he was thinking, I didn't sign up for this. Alright, let's have a look. How are we doing for time? 23 minutes. Right, so there is this one. Let's come out so you can see the whole thing, and then have a think about the next one. I am thinking a different colour. I think it'd be more interesting. So we could either do a blue, which I'm just looking at the blues that I've got here. So we've got quite a mix of blues. We could do blue or turquoisey sort of thing, or we could do red and orange and yellow. The blue's going to be easiest for me, but I've done it before. I think I'm going to do the blue. I'm just going to enjoy myself. Right, so blue. Let's put my own swatch chart up there. So I'm going to start with a dark colour. I'm going to start with Terra Verde Deep. I know it's not blue. It's a very bluey green. Can't find it. There it is. Ooh. Pencils rolling everywhere. Okay. So here is the Terra Verde Deep, and I'm going to use it for the edge. Now, this is an interesting shape. I think, where are we going to put our glow? In there. And then that bit, I'm just going to concentrate on this bit first, I think. Let's bring you in a bit closer so you can see. There we go. Now, it's a little bit complicated by the fact that we've got this bit under here. But what I'm going to do is go around the edge with this pencil, like this. And this is going to be the equivalent of the black that we did around the edge of here. I'm just starting with my darkest. So I'm just putting a line round first. Like that. Now I'm going to go a bit darker because I really want a sort of quite hard edge and then a sort of scumbled layer. Hopefully that makes sense. And then round and round. So I hope you've all got a good week planned. It's not Monday recording this, so but I do have plans for the rest of the week. I've got some Halloween videos to record, which, what date is this going out? Yeah, it might have already started actually, probably started today. So I've got that to do, which will be fun. Because they're cute Halloween. I don't like scary Halloween, but I like cute Halloween. So I've got that to do. And let's just come that round like that. Now what I want now is a sort of turquoisey blue. Do we have such a thing? We have a phthalo turquoise. It's a little bit too green. Cobalt turquoise green. We'll try that. Is that that? No, that's teal green. It's blue. There it is. We'll try this cobalt turquoise green next. Yes, so I'm doing that. That's my one plan. I really need to do a little bit more on Advent stuff so that I'm getting a bit more organised with that. I haven't got any new ideas, but I haven't completed all the old ideas yet. So I find that I don't think the ideas are going to come to me until I actually am working on it, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's all good. Just trying to go over this outside a bit more. There we go. Now that does look very blue, which is good. Now the teal green, what colour are you? Yeah, I think you might work. Just a tad of teal green. Need to leave our space for our glow in the middle. Like that. And then our final colour will be mint green light. To find it. Where are you, mint green light? Is that you there? No. Yeah, mint green light. Here it is. It's not printed on very well on mine, it's worn off. Well, it came like that with it being worn off. So I'm going to just try and blend that round in all our other colours. Now it's not the most vibrant of colours, so I'm going to add some yellow like I did on the other one. Despite my concerns, I think it worked quite well in the end. So we're going to use the same yellow, the lemon yellow, just put a little bit right in the middle of here, just to emphasise that glowiness. There we go. Now, this bit up here, I want to be fairly light, so I'm going to use my teal green for that. And not really sure. I'm just going to put a light layer over it all and sort of think really. I feel like it would be a sort of see-through bit, and I guess it all is. Maybe there'll be a bit of a glow coming up from there. Maybe I'll do that. So we'll grab our mint green light again. Just put a little patch in there, like it's just glowing from there. And then a little bit of the cobalt turquoise green on the edge to darken it. I think I'll do that. This is really blunt. There we go. So just around the edge really. Oops, out of the line she goes, and then sort of scumble it a bit. I don't want it over the whole of it. Just to go a bit lighter. Is this our lightest? Whoop. No, we use the teal a bit lighter. Yeah, I think it's quite similar, but the teal was a tad lighter, so I'm going to use that in between. But again, not too heavy. Just sort of fill in the gaps a bit. A bit dark on the edge. Right, sorry about that. The doorbell went. It was Jehovah's Witnesses calling round. I have a teal green. I can't remember what I was even doing. They were chatting to me. They were telling me about their website and how they've got answers to different questions on there. But I've looked at it before, so I was able to tell them. They're all so polite and friendly and things. My father-in-law always invites them in for coffee, but I didn't have time for that. And see, this is quite pale compared to this, and that's what I want really. I want the contrast, as if this is a little bit more see-through than this one. Now, this underneath bit, I was thinking to start with that I would make it darker because it's underneath and shadowy, but what I actually feel now is that here we're looking into this part of it, but here this is just the very edge, so it's actually going to be lighter. So I'm going to do that in not the colour I had in my hand. I think the teal might work. I'm going to do it in the teal green and just do a sort of, a bit like here, a lightish layer. Yeah, we were talking about Jehovah's Witnesses the other day because we saw some when we were out and about on our travels, and my son was like, "There's some men in overcoats." I said, "It's just Jehovah's Witnesses. They're all lovely." So polite and friendly, which is always nice. I guess they're essentially doing sales in a way, not in that they're not selling you something in that way, but they're trying to encourage you to do something, look at their website and whatever. So I guess they want to be approachable and nice and kind. Right, it wouldn't really work if they weren't, would it? I've grabbed my cobalt turquoise green to do these bits. I'm never quite sure how best to make these look like they've got some texture, but I think we'll just do a light layer over the whole thing to start with. Yeah, I could hear them. There were in quite a group of them. Some of them were talking to my neighbour on the other side of me as well. But anyway, I don't doubt anyone else is in. My neighbour isn't working at the minute, so he's in. Now I look at this, the way it's drawn, it looks like that one's dipped in and that one's pointed out. That one's dipped in, that was pointed out. It's an interesting frilly plan. So what I think I'm going to do, just put a bit of a darker line in there and on this one, on the edges. I don't know if it's going to work. just going to play with it and see what happens. Can always erase it or make the others dark as well. I have to say that I'm much preferring how these look compared to the ones that I did before in my previous video. But, you know, that's fine. It just looks like I've made it stripy. That wasn't really what I was going for. I feel like I want to just put a little bit extra on the edges of those as well, but leave the middles white. Yeah, my neighbour on the other side are probably all at work. That's the dippy in one, isn't it? So I'm going to put a bit there, a bit there. Work my way through doing that. Was that one exactly? No, that's the dippy in one. Anyway, yeah. Oh, my son sent me a message. A rude message. We should ignore that. Anyway. Yeah, I tried to make them look more see-through in my last video, and it wasn't. I wasn't so happy with it. But yeah, this is what it is, as they say. I don't know what I'm doing with this. There, I think a bit lighter there. Yeah, my neighbour on the one side, oh, actually my one neighbour might be in because he tends to work late. Now we've got our tentacles. I know what I'm doing with those. I might come back to that, I might not. Don't know. So tentacles, let's do some dark. So the Terra Verde Deep that we used for our very edge, let's do these in this dark colour. Just blocking them in because they are thin. In the actual book they might be a little bit thicker, I'm not sure. Well, the picture will be slightly bigger, I'm sure. I can't remember how many jellyfish there are, whether there's 4 or 8. I think it might be 4. Not sure now. But no, I think what I did was I didn't like the background that I did either on it, so I'm going to change that a bit. So I'm going to use the teal green now for these dotty ones. They're quite difficult to colour each individual dot. I could do my best. There we go. Now the ones that are down here, I quite fancy doing in the light colour that we used for the sort of reflective centre, the mint green light. Now they've got these little dots on them. Now I often think that that is a gap, like a hole, like we shouldn't colour it, but it's too small, so I'm just going to colour over it and see what happens. It will self-destruct. Sorry, I'm in a silly mood apparently. Yeah, I made the mistake of looking at the news this morning. Ugh. And then quickly moved on. It all seemed to be foreign news in the headlines this morning. That's why I like watching my favourite Strictly Come Dancing. It's always so happy and jolly and cheery. I mean, there has been a bit of controversy in the news about the way training, things happening in the training rooms and stuff, but you don't see that in the show, and it's being dealt with behind the scenes anyway. I just like, you know, the idea that people are just learning to dance and they come out and they do something and it's all sparkly and pretty and happy and jolly. It's just all lovely. Even the dances that are a bit more negative, like, you know, the paso dobles and things like that, it's still really lovely. And you know, I just love that sort of positivity, family viewing. There's no, you know, nastiness on the show, that sort of thing. There's a bit of rivalry between the couples, but it's usually just a bit of friendly rivalry rather than being anything nasty. You know, it's lovely. But I like a sort of positive things going, positive vibes. I think it's always been a show about that, about brightening up your winter evenings coming in, you know, and that sort of thing. And this week is well, you'll know how far ahead I am recording. It's movie week, which is the third week, and so they've all got a sort of theme, which is fun. Now this looks quite a different colour to this, so what I'm actually going to do, because I'm not 100% happy with this, I'm just going to put a bit of this on top, only a little bit. I don't want it to look too glowy, but I just want to, I don't know, make it look a bit more interesting. I don't really like what I was doing, fiddling around with making it look a bit stripy, so I am going to go back to the cobalt turquoise green and just sort of go over it all really, so that it looks a bit more defined, and it will mix in with that lighter colour that I've put down, and hopefully look okay. Now they do overlap, and I feel like I need to put a bit of shadow in there just to show that, so I don't want to use that. We'll grab that Terra Verde Deep and just put in a sort of bit of shadow under there. There it's not going to show up too much because that's Terra Verde Deep as well. But here I can put a bit in under there here. It might just look a little bit better. Sort of overlapping skirt. Yeah, that's better. Now these to me are looking too bright, so I'm just going to get the teal and I'm going to just run it over the top a little bit. I just want to dull them a little bit. I want them still to look greener than and lighter than this, but they just look a little bit too different. So just go over it a little bit, sort of almost just muting it a bit. If you like it as it is, then you don't have to do this bit. Just see how you feel. Just checking you're in shot then. Just thinking, I know this one's a bit long, isn't it? I am feeling so hungry. It is 11:15. I think I'll go and get a coffee in a minute though. That might fill me up enough until lunchtime. There we go. I'm happier with that. I'm going to leave that one like that, and I'm going to play around a little bit with, let's just move my pencils. Play around a little bit with the background. I don't want to overdo it because I don't want to smudge the pencil that I've used. So my first thing I'm going to be careful of is to just brush it all off. So any little pencil crumbs that are left here aren't going to get smudged into the background. And I'm going to use this one and some soft pastels. Now if you want, you could just draw a few bubbles, maybe with a glitter pen, something like that, but I'm just going to do a hint of water. Okay, so let's grab a cloth. There we go. So oops, let's just move this all into shot so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Actually, let's turn this around because we want the blues. or this one sometimes I use for water, but I'm going to use a darker blue just because that colour is a bit similar to this colour. Let's just move those out of the way. There we go. So I'm just going to put a hint here and, you know, a few hints of water in a few places. I'm not going to put it over the whole thing. I don't think. I hope it's going to work. So I'm going to use a proper blue rather than a turquoise. So this blue here, I think. I can hear a noise. And I want to do it across the corner. Maybe there. Now you can use these stencils with a distress ink as well if you've got that rather than pastels. You can even use them with a pencil, but I think that would be quite difficult. So there is that. Oh, see how I've made a bit of a mess there? I don't know how easy it shows up on camera. I'm going to just erase back that bit. I can hear a humming. It's very strange. There we go. And then maybe put a bit just to the bottom. There, across there. Like that. Do we do some on the other corners the other way? Or would it look a bit too contrived? Because it doesn't match. I might just leave it like that. I think I'm just going to leave it like that, so it's just got a hint of the sea. Yeah, let's do that. It's a bit different, isn't it? Right, let's put the pastels away before I knock them all over the floor. There we go. And then I can show you the finished thing. There we go. So there it is. I'm okay with that. You could do sea all over it, but I think you wouldn't see it would distract from the items. So I think a little hint. It's just a different idea for you. But thank you for watching today. I hope that you have a super Monday. I'm hoping to do something Halloween-y tomorrow. Not too scary. Cute Halloween. That's my favourite type. Anyway, but for now, thank you for watching. Have a super day and happy colouring.